All right, moving on now. Seems to be a big day for the government in Parliament tomorrow after threatening to withdraw support from the UPA government over the promotions quota bill. The Samajwadi party has now upped the ante, blamed the centre for misusing the CBI to blackmail Mulayam Singh Yadav. The Samajwadi party spokesperson Rajendra Chaudhary has in fact lashed out at the UPA and alleged the CBI is being used to implicate Mulayam Singh Yadav in false cases. The senior SP leader made it absolutely clear that his party will continue to oppose FDI in retail and the promotions quota bill, and it was not afraid of the CBI. Earlier, party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav had said that his party will review its decision of providing outside support to the UPA if the promotions quota bill is in fact pushed through.
ऐसा है कि समाज में आपस में मतभेद होंगे और दूरियां बढ़ेंगी और आशंका की तरह से देखे जाना रहेगा, तो ये देश के हित में नहीं है। एक बार आरक्षण मिल चुका है नौकरी में आने की, फिर दोबारा प्रमोशन में आरक्षण अगर हो जाएगा तो बहुत बुरी हालत हो जाएगी।
यूपीए की सरकार न सिर्फ सामाजिक ताने बाने को छिन्न भिन्न कर रही है, बल्कि आर्थिक संकट पैदा कर रही है और राजनीतिक तौर पर ऐसे नेतृत्व के खिलाफ भी षड्यंत्र करती रहती है जो 80% लोगों के लिए काम करता है। तो सीबीआई का जो इस्तेमाल है वो कोई निष्पक्षता के आधार पर नहीं होता है, इसलिए समाजवादी पार्टी इसको बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकती है। हम एफडीआई के खिलाफ, प्रमोशन में आरक्षण के खिलाफ आवाज उठाते रहेंगे और समाजवादी पार्टी न दबने वाली है न झुकने वाली है।
All right, so the SPA card that has been put forth by the Samajwadi party, Mulayam Singh Yadav's warning to the UPA, remember, also comes after BSP chief Mayawati got her way in getting the promotions bill debated in the Rajya Sabha. The Congress too seemed to favour Mayawati on the issue instead of Mulayam Singh Yadav, and that seems to have irked the Samajwadi party chief. The bill will be put to vote in Rajya Sabha on Monday. It is expected to sail through. Well, the UPA, let's break down the numbers for you. The UPA has just over 250 MPs in the Lok Sabha. Now, this happened after the TMC withdrew support from the government, and it is provided crucial support from outside by 21 MPs of Mulayam Singh Yadav Samajwadi Party and 22 MPs of Mayawati, led by the Bahujan Samaj Party, which is batting for this quota bill. Alright, the other big story that Headlines Today tracked for you this evening, the government may be tom-tomming about the pension package announced for ex-servicemen, but Headlines Today has in fact learned that the government's bonanza for retired Jawans is nothing but an eyewash. Sources have told Headlines Today that there is a lot of resentment in all the three wings of the armed forces over the government's pension package. It is believed that the delay in implementing the package is because of the possible outcry over the so-called bonanza. Now, there are a whole range of numbers involved. If the new package is implemented, a sepoy who has worked all his life for the nation, sometimes even in extreme conditions, will only get a hike of 377 rupees in his post-retirement pension. In fact, the numbers just keep on differing. It seems that the ex-servicemen will only get peanuts from the government. The question then is, the question that Headlines Today asks is this how a nation rewards its brave hearts? And already, ex-servicemen are furious over the government's move and have even slammed it for sitting over the proposal for months on end.
The question is very simple. How did the cabinet come to a figure of 2,300 crores? They must have done some calculations, they must have been told something. So if those calculations were done, then why a delay of almost 3 months before the orders are actually issued? So obviously, it is something where their calculations have been wrong, and therefore now they are finding it difficult to announce the bonanza as claimed.
But Defence Minister Antony has assured that the order for the revised pension will be issued next month. Talking to reporters on the sidelines of the Vijay Devas function at India Gate, Antony said that there are some procedural formalities that need to be completed before issuing the order out.
As per the decision to enhance the pension, costing nearly 2,300 crores, 5 orders will be issued. These are under the process. Out of that, three issues are cleared the finance minister. Other also within a few days or a few weeks it will be cleared. So we will issue all the 5 audits. I think next month we'll be able to. The new year will be.
Well, the government eyewash bonanza for ex-servicemen raises some important questions. The first one being, is pension just tokenism enough for our officers, for our jawans? Does a few extra rupees seem adequate to the government? Also, the other big question, do our brave hearts not have the right to dignity in their old age? Can't the nation even guarantee a comfortable life to its soldiers after their retirement?
The inexplicable 3-month-long delay in issuing a government order to follow up on the September announcement can perhaps be attributed to these papers that Headlines Today has accessed. These papers actually go to show how poorly the government of India thinks and treats its men in uniform. This is Jugal Purohit for Headlines Today from New Delhi.
Alright, moving on to another controversial story really. A day after Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit stunned everyone by her 600 rupee is enough remark, there's widespread outrage over her comments. Speaking on the occasion of the launch of Delhi government's Cash for Food program, the Chief Minister had claimed that 600 rupees, the cash subsidy, was enough for buying the monthly dal, roti and chawal for a poor family of around 5 members. The statement, which was made in presence of the UPA chairperson Sonia Gandhi, was met with widespread disbelief by the audience itself.
जो गरीब है और जिसको 600 रुपए में कम से कम उसकी दाल, उसका चावल और उसका गेहूं जरूर उसको मिल सकता है। एक 5 लोगों का परिवार वो अच्छी तरह से हो सकता है। एक हमने स्टडी करवाई थी सेवा से, उसमें हमने ये भी पाया था कि बहुत सारे परिवार या अधिकांश परिवार 99% परिवार जो है वो चाहते हैं कि महिला को उसको कैश दे दिया जाए।
Alright, you just heard that rather absurd, that ridiculous statement. Let's simplify it for you. What exactly has Sheila come forward and said? Now, according to our Chief Minister, the Delhi Chief Minister, if one were to believe her, 600 rupees is enough for the food rations for a family of 5. That means that 20 rupees would suffice for its requirements per day on a daily basis. That translates in turn to 4 rupees to feed 1 mouth per day and further equate 1 rupee for each meal. Absolutely ridiculous what we've heard from Sheila Dikshit.
जो सरकार मंदी रोक नहीं पाई तो वो आर्थिक नाकेबंदी के रास्ते से ये देश को बताना चाहती है कि 600 रुपए में 5 लोगों का परिवार आराम से अपना जीवन यापन कर सकता है। दरअसल दिक्कत इस सरकार के साथ यह है कि ये सरकार अर्थशास्त्रियों की सरकार तो है लेकिन जमीन शास्त्र में जीरो है, और अर्थशास्त्रियों की हीरो सरकार जमीन शास्त्र में जीरो हो तो निश्चित तौर से इसी तरह के आकलन और इसी तरह के आंकड़े ये सरकार देश के सामने पेश करेगी।
ये हमारे नेताओं के मानसिक दिवालियेपन की निशानी है कि वो सोचते हैं कि दिल्ली जैसी जगह में कोई परिवार 4 रुपए में दाल रोटी चला सकता है एक दिन की। कैसे हो सकता है? शीला दीक्षित जी जो रुमाल लटका के चलती हैं, उस रुमाल की कीमत 4 रुपए से ज्यादा होगी।
आदरणीय शीला दीक्षित जी, मैडम सोनिया और भाई राहुल जी का 600 रुपए में तो एक वक्त का नाश्ता भी पूरा नहीं पड़ता होगा। और गरीब यदि 600 रुपए में राशन खरीदने जाएगा तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा 2 किलो दाल और 10 किलो आटा खरीद सकता है। क्या 5 आदमियों का महीने भर पेट 2 किलो दाल और 10 किलो आटे से भर पाएगा? ये सरकार पूरी तरह से असंवेदनशील हो चुकी है।
Well, obviously a statement to that effect is going to invite a whole lot of criticism, and it already is. Moving on, even as the United States struggles to recover from the horrors of the Sandy Hook shootings, the focus in India has now shifted to its own gun culture because it is a disturbing trend that we're talking about. The rise in the number of shooting sprees in the United States has stirred the debate on whether the gun laws in the state need to be tightened. However, the same problem exists, as it were, in a much more severe form in our country, which is grappling with an alarming increase in the gun licenses procured by individuals and a corresponding increase in shootouts. According to a report, Indians own over 40 million guns, which is second only to the United States. More disturbingly, 85% of them are unregistered, unlicensed weapons. Over 80,000 violations of the country's Arms Act was recorded in 2009 alone. Well, it doesn't stop here. A Mill Today exclusive report has exposed Ghaziabad to be the gun capital of the country, with the number of licensed guns exceeding those of cops by a staggering 4:1 ratio. Over 2,000 people have arms, 14,000 more seek licenses. It's also the city where 3,310 arms were recovered in 2012, the highest in any city across the country. Not surprisingly then, the growth of gun culture across the country has resulted in a spate of high-profile shootouts across the NCR within the past 1 month. It started with a much-publicized shootout at the farmhouse of Ponti Chadda, who killed liquor baron along with his younger brother. Then last week, remember, a group of armed assailants had stormed into the ICU of a private hospital, shooting a man dead. And just today, in fact, we reported to you about a man who opened fire at the heart of the national capital in Connaught Place. In fact, the Supreme Court even pointed out the disturbing role of private security agencies. In an observation after the Ponti Chadda firing case, the apex court said it was concerned by the prevailing gun culture and asked the government to take note of the incident. But the Supreme Court's appeal is likely to fall on deaf ears given the tendencies of our politicians who are known to openly flout all laws. Whether it is Porbandar MP and now aspiring MLA Vittal Bhai Radia or former TMC man Ashish Dev, these visuals you see on your television screens are proof of how our politicians are equally tempted by the powers of wielding a gun. This development has senior police officials worried that gangland-style shootouts, such as those in the US, may become a matter of course in India as well, claiming innocent lives.
This gun culture has seeped into the Indian psyche, and people want, everyone wants a gun. It's just a status symbol, and once you have it, the temptation to use it is always there. So, I mean, willy-nilly we are moving in the direction of the problem with the US is facing. When there are warnings, when there are cautionary notes, when there are advisories, we just tend to ignore it.
Alright, let's now talk to you about Pakistan Interior Minister Rahman Malik, who will be completing his rather controversial tour of India today. In fact, that visit has come to an end. During his 3-day tour, Malik provoked India on several occasions. First, it was equating the Babri Masjid demolition to the 26/11 attacks. Then he rubbed salt onto the wounds of Kargil martyr Captain Kalia by saying he might have died due to harsh weather. What is unexplainable is India not lodging a strong protest over these repeated insults and not ticking off Malik with a stern reprimand. The government is also under fire from the opposition for allowing Malik's statements to go unchallenged. Foreign Minister has advised Pakistan not to indulge in mudslinging and accept mistakes.
वो अपने नुकसान से बचने के लिए कोई किसी पर झूठा इल्जाम लगाएगा, और हम अगर किसी से हमारे संबंध होते तो हम उस पे इल्जाम लगाकर अपनी क्या अच्छाई करेंगे.
Well, in fact, let's now play out for you how Malik, in fact, in the first place, offended India not on one occasion, but on 3 separate occasions, and also took absolute advantage of India's hospitality.
Abu Jandial, Sari, they are Indian, and the other guy, and 2 of them were arrested much before the Bombay blast. So I'm sure they had supplied some information, including the maps.
We do not want any 9/11. We do not want any Bombay blast. We do not want any Samajwadi Express. We do not want any Babri mosque issue. And we can work together. When the fight is going on the border, we really don't know whether he was killed with a bullet of Pakistani bullet or he died because of the weather. आज और कल मैंने एयरपोर्ट से भी अर्ज किया था कि अगर मुझे अभी एविडेंस आप दे, if it's substantive, documentarily or any material evidence, before I leave Pakistan, I'll order his arrest.
Alright, so several examples that Headlines Today has just shared with you about the current of insults that came forward from the Pakistan Interior Minister. Well, as far as the opposition is concerned, it's not letting this go by. It's cornering the government for not giving a befitting reply to Rahman Malik, who they said clearly crossed the line.
It's strange and unfortunate that the Pakistani minister has, just with the commencement of the visit, seen to be commenting on cross-border terrorism emanating from Pakistan, and in the same breath speaking in terms of domestic developments in India. Well, those comments are completely unfortunate, uncalled for, and should really have been rebutted by the Indian ministers present there.
अरे सबूत क्या, ओपन चैनल करके उसका गांव का नाम मिला, सब कुछ मिला, पूरा एड्रेस मिला, सब कुछ, फिर ओपन सबूत का जरूरत क्या है? 3 साल 4 साल सजा सुना, सब कुछ मिला, गांव का नाम, या फिर हिंदुस्तान का तो है, रहने का सवाल नहीं होता, पाकिस्तान का इतना सबूत दिया फिर भी बोलता सबूत नहीं मिला.
Alright, so there is widespread criticism coming in of the government and the kind of silence they've maintained over the insults that came forward from Rahman Malik. Well, this anger is also directed against Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde, who chose to roll out the red carpet for Rahman Malik despite repeated advice from his advisors against this visit.
But all that he has succeeded in doing is to rake up controversies, make statements, then backtrack, and convey an impression to the Indian public that he is completely insensitive to our concerns. This kind of talk that forget about the past, forget 2611, equating Babri Masjid with 2611, I mean, this is completely incredible, the kind of stuff that he is saying. He just does not understand where we come from and what the Indian public thinks about this matter.